ServiceNow has just released another model in their Apriel series of family. We have been covering this Apriel model for quite some time since they released around 5 to 6 months ago. At that time, this was quite a nifty model, so I'm quite excited to see not only that this new model is built upon Mistral's Pixtral model, but also it comes up with a new training technique. In this video, we are going to install it locally, we are going to test it out, but more importantly, I am going to explain in very simple words what exactly they have done differently in terms of training, because that is one thing which is quite different from various other reasoning or thinking models. This is Fahad Mirza and I welcome you to the channel. Please like the video and subscribe and consider becoming a member, as that helps a lot. Let's quickly talk a bit more about this model and then we will start the installation. So it's a 15 billion open weight multimodal reasoning model. It starts from Pixtral 12 billion and then it is upscaled. When we say upscaled, it simply means they have added more decoder layers. They have realigned vision projection to expand reasoning capacity without retraining from scratch. Then they equipped for both text and image understanding. Despite its small size, it targets frontier level reasoning, and they have shared a lot of benchmarking information in their card and also in their report. So that is a quick intro. I will be talking more about its training, but for now let's get it installed. I am going to use this Ubuntu system. I have one GPU card NVIDIA H100 with 80 GB of VRAM. One of the prerequisites which you would need in order to get it installed is Docker, as they have also given us a Docker image. And if you're looking to rent a GPU or VM or CPU on very affordable price, you can find the link to Massed Compute in video's description with a discount coupon code of 50% for range of GPUs. So first up, all you need to do is to pull this Docker image. You might also get this error here. This simply means that I would need to give the socket permission to my Docker daemon. Let me do that. And these are the permission which I need to give. They are a bit permissive, I know, but for the purpose of demo, let's do that. And now it is downloading all the Docker layers, which is going to take a bit of a time. It downloads a lot of stuff, including the model and all what it is in there. While that happens, let's talk a bit more about the mid training, which is the secret sauce of this model. When they say mid training, it primarily means everything that happens between the inherited base model and final release, specifically a stage continual pre-training. This continual pre-training or CPT is what makes it different. So what they have done is that they have staged this CPT, followed by supervised fine-tuning. CPT stage 1 mixes billions of text tokens, which includes math, coding, science, and logic with multimodal data such as document charts, OCR, interleaved image text to build broad reasoning and vision skills. Then comes CPT's stage 2, where they have added targeted synthetic image tasks like spatial structure, composition, fine-grained perception to sharpen visual reasoning. After CPT, a large text-only SFT set with explicit reasoning traces teaches instruction following and tool use. And only the decoder is updated here, which is really impressive. So no reinforcement learning or preference tuning is applied. The performance gains comes from this data-centric two-stage mid-training recipe, and they have shared all the detail in this technical report, which you can find from their model card. And as I said, I'm going to give the link to it in video's description. Okay, so it is almost there. Let's wait for it to finish. And the Docker image is now pulled. And now we can run this model with the Docker and VLLM. And this is a command which I am using. They have shared it on their model card too. So all this command is doing, it is using the image which we have just pulled. It is using Hugging Face token, which you can also get from the Hugging Face profile. It's a free read token. It's not mandatory, but always a good idea. And then I'm just putting it on this port, local port mapping. This is a image which we have just downloaded, and this is the command to run the VLLM. If you don't know what VLLM is, just go to my channel and search with VLLM. I have done a full tutorial on VLLM. So, but for the purpose of this, as you can see, it is just using Docker with all the tool call and reasoning support. So let's run this. And the model is now being downloaded. There are 7 shards of it. Let's wait. And the model is now being served here, and you can see that it is taking just close to 28 gig of VRAM. Okay, so the model is now ready, and I'm accessing the Apriel model through OpenWebUI. If you don't know what that is, again, just go to my channel and search with OpenWebUI, even with VLLM, and you should be able to find the complete video on how to get it installed, which is very simple. Okay, so let's now try to do the inference. So I'm just going to use an image from my local system. I have just uploaded this image of my own channel, and I'm going to ask it describe the image. So this is the image, as you can see, just a screenshot of my own channel. It was taken some time back. So it has thought for 4 seconds. It is saying that this is a screenshot of YouTube channel page that appears to be a custom branded landing page. Yes, that's right. But I have customized it, and the creator, it has also got it right. And then it is talking about, what exactly it says. So here looks quite good. And then some buttons, channel header. So screen elements, it can identify quite well around navigation, feature, hero section. Very nice. There you go. And it has, I think, the overall, it has done quite well. There you go. Okay, so pretty happy with the first one. Let's open a new chat. Let's select, maybe I'm just going to go with some of the OCR ones. So for the OCR ones, I'm just going to first ask it to do this Arabic OCR. I'll say extract the text and identify the language. So this is an Arabic newspaper. It is thinking. While it thinks, let's check the VRAM consumption. So it is consuming close to 75 gig of VRAM for a 15 billion model. Bit higher for my liking, but as long as quality is fine, we are good. It is still thinking. So it is just identifying what exactly I'm asking. I'm not sure even if it is multilingual or not, but let's wait. And if you're an Arabic speaker, you would need to help me, please. Doesn't seem like it's a multilingual one. Okay, so the model is still thinking, and you'll be surprised to see that it is totally off here. But I don't think so. It is multilingual at all. And you see, it is just talking about various random things, hallucinations. Some Arabic text can't really do it. So which is fine. I'll just go down and see what it has done. So it has identified the language, but not really, it has really not done well in terms of this. That is fine. Okay, let's try out in English one. I'll just go, bilingual on this model. I'll just go with English maybe. So I'm just going to go here, and then I'll just go, I'm not sure if I have the invoice. I do. So let's check it out. I'll just ask it, is this invoice paid? So this is the invoice. As you can see, I'll just click on it to show you. It is not paid, of course. So I'll just click on X. Model is still thinking, and it says no, the invoice is not paid. And you see, for English one, it is very, very good. Very good. Okay, let's try out maybe a chart. So I'm going to ask it to analyze this chart. This is a chart. As you can see, there are some tools on the x-axis, and then there are some stack per page on the y-axis. So let's see what model does here. It is still thinking. I'm just checking, its chain of thought without reinforcement learning. Yeah, not bad. So it is just going in a very linear way, it seems. Let's wait for it to finish thinking. It is not as, I would say, self-reflective as we see in reinforcement learning, but still good enough. and it is now writing the answer, which looks pretty good to me. Yep. I'm just quickly reading it through because I have used this a lot of time. So look, it is very good. And you can see that the response is not only in terms of numbers, but it has also given us which one is good, which one is struggling in terms of the tool. There you go. And then some practical takeaways. I think it has done well. Good stuff. Okay, let's go here and then let's select. Maybe I'll just go with a bit of a hard one. So this is again a very old ad. So I'll just ask it which era or year this ad belong to. So this is a very old Australian ad from a newspaper. Let's see. Woolloomooloo is a suburb in Sydney. Let's wait for it. And again, you see, it is understanding what the prompt is, but it is not going way too much deeper into the candidates. So it is just setting. So it got the date, which it is really good. You see, under the masthead there is a date. So which is quite interesting. Okay, and it has got it right. It is not that visible, by the way. And so it has given me the Victorian era, which is correct. Okay, next up, I'm just going to give it a table and I'm asking it to convert this table into a data set which is suited for direct preference optimization, where we give it a question and then a preferred answer or a rejected answer for the human, really alignment with the human preference. So this is a table with some random stuff, some column and rows. So my major thinking behind this prompt is to see if it can do that. So you see, it is understanding what I am asking it to do, and then it is producing all of these columns and rows, which is good. So far so good. I will wait for it to finish and then we will check out the final answer. And the model has come back with a response, and I think the response is one high quality one. The reason being, not only it has given us a starter data set, but also more importantly, given us some good techniques as how to feed it into a DPO pipeline. So it is talking about, you see what DPO is. There are two candidate responses, and in this case there is a 2 GPU setup variant and a human derived preference label. It could be 0, 1 or -1 or even midway. So it has done the pairwise comparison. This is a dataset design. After that, it is explaining why it has produced that layout, then the CSV version, and then the JSON-L version here. And if I just scroll through, looks pretty good, you see. And then there are labels at the end. And it says how to plug this into DPO pipeline. It has given us the code and then some sanity check 1, 2. There you go. I think this is really good stuff. Next up, I am just giving it this text which contains a lot of languages like Arabic, Hindi, Russian, Ukrainian, some Chinese, German, and few others. And I'm asking it to extract the text and just identify all the languages used in text. I know that we already have tested it out with Arabic. That didn't work. But let's see if it is able to at least identify the languages. The other one was taking long time, so I've just asked it to identify the language. Don't produce anything else. Let's see if it is able to do it quickly. And it's been 10 minutes. It is still thinking, so I'm just going to stop it. I think this is one area where they can improve, but I think it's not a big deal. It can be improved fairly quickly. Finally, let me just quickly get maybe a handwritten one, and then we will see how exactly it does that. I'm just going to ask it extract the cross out words from this text. So these are some cross out words. Let's see if it is able to just detect and get them out. And by the way, the model was just trained for 7 days on around, I guess, 640 H100 GPU cards, and the training stack was fast LLM. The license is MIT, which is always a welcome thing. Let's wait to see if it is able to extract these two words or not. So I think the first one is do. The other one, I'm not really sure. So let's see what model tells me. And there you go. So the model is asking me to share the image and all that, which I did, but still model is unable to get that. But anyway, I think we stretched the limits here. Other than that, not a bad model at all. In fact, quite a good one in my opinion. Let me know what do you think. Please like the video and subscribe and consider becoming a member, as that helps a lot. Thank you for all the support.